Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel for day 1751 of our daily content grind. Today we are going to be doing something I've been putting off for a while because it takes a while to dig for this, but I had the time today at the shop, so let's go ahead and look at some one-star reviews over on Amazon. I don't know what to expect of this when I start one of these videos. It's literally just, I have an idea. Let's see how it pans out. Pans out in interesting ways, as it turns out. So, just before we begin, let's understand a few things about this. So, for starters, above all here, I am really not impressed by how many reviews I saw that left 1 star simply because the box it was shipped in got hit and had a dented corner, or that the delivery took too long. Look, you're reviewing the product, not the shipping service. Like, that's literally not the product's fault. You're supposed to be informing people about how good the product you got is, not the service you received. I wish Amazon had a better way of leaving them bad feedback for improperly packing something, but really, this ain't the product's fault. I'm sorry that there was some dents on your box. I'm sorry that they folded over the card back on your toy. Like, that's not the toy's fault. So, anything like this, and there's way too much of this, by the way, I have completely ignored. We're going to focus on things that have legitimate criticisms or just things I can make fun of. And we're going to start with 86 Galvatron. And this toy's okay. Like I don't really have any major issue with the toy, but someone did. Just another recolor of an already overproduced figure. It's a verified purchase, so someone actually did buy this after looking at it on the product page and going, sure, let me buy that. Maybe it'll be different. No. And I don't think this toy is shy about the fact that it is just a repaint. I mean, I really don't. I mean, if you search for Galvatron on Amazon, this is what comes up. It's the legacy version. Actually, no, I think that might be the Kingdom. I see the battle damage on it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter which version. It's in the same pose. It's in the same pose, and it's wearing the accessories the exact same way. If you know this figure was overproduced, then you should know, then you're in a point of knowledge to know that it's just a repaint. Why did you buy it just to complain that it's a repaint? I don't know. I feel like some people complain just hoping that Amazon will get back to them and go, oh, we're sorry. Do you want all your money back? Ugh. How about Snarl? There's nothing really wrong with this toy either. I just reconnected with this figure, funny enough. It's a really good figure. It's got that 86 Dinobot magic to it. Someone decided it was bad. Box filled with drywall and newspaper, and I will not be ordering again. Okay, so this is something else. There was a lot of people that just had improper, like, repacked stuff. That just literally, one of them I saw just had literal trash just jammed into the box for the sake of weight, because Amazon doesn't open up anything to see if they got the right thing back or not. They don't care. But they put it back out and sell it again, and so every now and then you get a box of newspaper. Now, if someone had taken the toy out and then put it back in the box and then returned it, I can imagine, like, stuffing it with whatever you could, because the twist ties are all plastic. You can't redo them. You have to cut them open now. So I can imagine just, like, cramming a newspaper just so it doesn't bounce around or get damaged during, like, the return shipment. Where did the drywall come from? That's the one that's throwing me off. How did you know it was drywall? Let's see. Okay. How about Cyberworld Grimlock? Okay. A toy that I expect low reviews for because it's not really designed to be a high-quality toy. It's designed to be a cheap toy for kids. Purchased this item twice, and each time did not come with a 9-inch battle transformer. It is the 9-inch battle transformer. Like, that's like, you're not, the review doesn't say that there was no toy in the box, because it's an open tray. That'd be kind of obvious. It says that the 9-inch battle transformer was not included. Do you mean the Optimus Prime that's sitting in the cockpit? I'm sorry, like, one, it very clearly states that is not included, but also, Christina, do you really think that that is 9 inches? Look at him. Like, if that Optimus is 9 inches, that Grimlock would be 20 inches at minimum. Christina, has your husband been telling you what 9 inches looks like for a long time? Because I think he's been lying to you. I don't know, like, it just... I don't understand. Does Christina not know how inches work? God, I don't know. It's not like like everyone has a ruler or tape measure by their desk to measure this stuff out, but like, I figure at the very least you'd be smart enough to realize like what it's talking about. I don't know. Okay. Speaking of sizing issues, so here's a Crash and Combine Optimus and a Bumblebee. Let's see what someone had to say. This is for a homeless child. That's such an out-of-pocket thing to say for a review. It's tiny for the price. Didn't think it would be so small. It tells you how big it is when you buy it. It says it right in the title of the listing. Like, they're not like, there's so many people who bought toys thinking that they were going to be gigantic or like full-size Transformers, only to find out they're from smaller lines. And like, there's photos showing you kids playing with them. They list the height of the toys in the description, in the title of the listing, and just people just still get this wrong, and it's baffling to me. It's baffling to me. Also, a homeless child. What? Who makes that comparison? Oh my god. Earthrise, Megatron. Okay, Earthspark. I'm always going to make that mistake. I'm almost doing it intentionally now, just for the sake of the running gag. But this one I kind of figured would be low reviewed because, you know, it's Earthspark. I was waiting for someone to complain about it being woke. But no. The review was, it came in pieces. Many pieces. So my son 8 and I, 44 and stupid, thought we'd try to put it together. Didn't go well. Again, so this is the Warrior class toy. This doesn't come in parts. It comes in a cardboard tray that it's just rubber banded to. There's no way to receive this in parts unless they accidentally got a Blockies by mistake. That's the only thing that I can assume here. Like, that's the only answer, right? It's like it had to have been a model kit or a Blockies or something they got either by mistake or they're reviewing the wrong product. But it says verified purchase. It says they bought it. I don't know. There's a lot of weird things of like, you probably didn't get the right thing, did you? I guess not. You couldn't have. Okay, here's another one for the size category. So this Core Series 86 Spike in Exosuit, and the review states that the thing, this was a normal action figure. Oh, I'm sorry, size of a normally action figure. And it's tiny, no bigger than something you'd get from a toy vending machine. Maybe like a Gashapon machine, but let's give it more credit than that. It's a little bit larger than that. It was meant to be a gift for Christmas for a Transformer fan. You'd be fine getting him this for a gift for Christmas, because this is supposed to be small. People forget, this is a human character. Transformers, big. Human character toy, small. So... yeah, this is just like, again, you didn't read the listing to find out what the size was. It's not lying about the size. You just screwed up and didn't read properly. I think lack of literacy is responsible for a lot of these things. I half expect, like, a lot of times people don't even, like, look at the pictures before they buy a listing. Like, they show you what you're complaining about. We'll get to that here in a bit. But first... Micromasters. We just talked about them yesterday, so I figured why not throw those in, and we'll see what people had to complain about here. See, these Transformers are tiny and very hard for a toddler to transform. I don't recommend them for anybody 8 under 8 or 9. These are listed for 8 and above. The toy literally has on the packaging, not for ages below 8. What do you mean a toddler? These are listed as 1.5 inches tall, and you can see they are made of small parts. This is dangerous. Like, this is legitimately, like, dangerous to give to a toddler who has no idea what they're doing. What are you doing buying Transformers for a toddler? Even Rescue Heroes, I think, would be a little bit too much for someone that I would still describe as a toddler. Like, those are preschooler toys, right? Like, toddlers leans younger than that. Toddler, you're barely walking and talking. Like, you don't... Why would you give them anything like this? Oh my god, okay, fine. That's an irresponsible purchase. It's just flat out irresponsible. And then you have the other side of this. So, here's something a little bit different. So, we've got Evolution Optimus Prime. And I expected this one to have all great reviews because it's a fantastic toy. The review here is not for ADHD children, too complex for my grandson. Bought for my grandson and him trying to put it together from one stage to another. I believe he may have broken one of the pieces. Has ADHD and one he gets overwhelmed and gets angry. So if you're buying something for any kind of special needs child, even if it's ADHD, you need to do your due diligence before purchasing. Like, I know, like, when I look at the stock images for these Transformers, I can tell how many parts go into them, how complex they are. But, you know, and I know I can see the coding, for lack of better, like, example here. But I feel like if you know that the child you're buying for can become overstimulated and become angry with a toy that they do not understand immediately, you do need to actually put in a little bit of effort and research before you make a purchase. That's just being responsible with the buying, because you don't want to give them something that'll make them angry. You don't want to give them something that they might hurt themselves on either. So just to blindly buy it, like, okay, that's, again, not really the toy's fault. You bought the wrong toy for the wrong kid, and that is not reflective of the toy. It's good to announce that this is not good for a child with ADHD because it's very involved and overstimulating, but it is not good to go all the way down to a 1-star and blame the toy for that. So there's again some irresponsible purchasing going on. Though, like, I'm not taking away from the warning, though. It's a valid warning. It's a valid warning, but it's a purchase that shouldn't have been made. Okay, let's get into something that we know was a bad figure. This one has a few things to point out to it. So, almost $100 was essentially a Dollar General toy. That's a little much, I find. The review, to paraphrase, does pretty much nail everything that we kind of talk about with this toy. Yes, it feels cheap and flimsy, like it's very large but very hollow. And we know this because they wanted it to fit 3 3/4 inch G.I. Joe figures. Okay, fine, fair enough. But overall, like, we kind of know that, and that is a fair criticism. Below it is someone who says the same thing, feels very cheap for the price. If it was die-cast metal, it would be nice. So, no. That toy would be so much worse with die-cast metal. It would also probably be about $150 instead of $90. Anytime someone complains about Transformers not having die-cast, I will look at them and know that they have not touched a Transformer in over 30 years, because die-cast is the reason most G1 toys break. It is not better. It is inferior. They used die-cast because it was cheaper than plastic in the 80s. That's it. It wasn't to make the toys stronger, beefier, more solid, more worth the money. It was because it was dirt cheap to do it at the time. It's not anymore. And it's to the detriment of the toy. This toy was already awful. Like, there's no amount, like, there's nothing you can add to it. Die-cast would make it even worse. Here's the secret. Having now experienced, okay, so I was not a G.I. Joe kid, never have been, never was my interest. So I've told you lately about like the adventures I've had putting G.I. Joe figures back together here at the toy shop. Well, we had a bunch of vehicles too, and something that surprised me about experiencing some of these G.I. Joe vehicles for the first time was these things are made really cheap. Like the same things they're complaining about, I can find on these old school G.I. Joes from the 80s. Plastic that flexes with just my fingers, hollow areas that really should have been filled in. Like this purple is mostly a shell to hold on to these two little pieces, and then just a seal. Like the only sealing here is a box for like the propeller gimmickry, which doesn't even work anymore, but that's not the fault of the toy. It's 40 years old. But that thing is just an example of how cheap those G.I. Joe vehicles were made, because they had to be that big to fit the figures. They had to be made cheap. So no wonder his tank Megatron feels like a knockoff toy. It was the only way they'd do it. It's how they always did it. So there's my little like rant for the video. You'll excuse me for that little intermission. Let's get back to silly reviews over on Amazon. So Earthrise Skylinks, I think it's pretty much everything you'd want out of a Skylinks toy. Some joints could stand to be a little bit tighter, but a 1-star review because it looks like a skinny chicken. Does nobody look at the photos before they buy something? Like, you could see that it looks like number one, that's 100% accurate. It's 100% accurate to the cartoon. It's 100% accurate to the original toy. Skylinks has always looked like a scrawny, unfed chicken. That's just how he's always looked. It's entirely accurate. It's not his fault. And it's not his fault when you had the ability to see it before you bought it, and you still complain about it once you get it. And it's also incredibly unfair, also, obviously. He admits the Tigerbot is great. The combined form looks good. Like, he admits that all this is good. That doesn't mean it's 1 star, you moron. You can't judge one flaw that you could have avoided just by looking and saying that that means it's a 1-star toy. No. God, these people are so reactionary. God, they're so reactionary. Okay, here's a toy I don't like. I don't like this mold. Okay, so, Gamer Edition Thundercracker. If we take a look at the one I found, fake useless transformer, don't buy. I mean, it ain't fake. I don't know how this product got such good reviews. This is a fake transformer and looks nothing like the original. They don't actually talk about like War for Cybertron or Generations, so I don't know if they mean the original or like a Generations Thundercracker that looked like the War for Cybertron. The way they phrase it and leaving out details makes me think they're talking the original Thundercracker toy. Like, they don't understand that Transformers have different looks over the years from different universes. Very complicated to convert. I think quality is scrappy. So aside from his confusion over which Thundercracker this is, the other part that gets me is the fake China product grr. So this toy doesn't have any knockoffs I'm aware of, so this is not only incredibly jumping the gun of calling it fake in the first place, but only slightly racist, I find. Like, it feels just a little bit, right? I mean, for starters, like, we've had so many problems with the Vietnam factories since they moved. I kind of wish we were still making these in China. I'm not gonna lie. But no, he bought a real product. I don't know why they thought that it was like fake or anything. Like, I don't know why he thought it'd be like, I keep saying he and they. I don't know who it is. I don't know why they thought it was going to look like anything other than what it was shown to be on the listing page. It's weird. Do you not look at what you're buying before you buy it? It's Amazon. It's not a loot box. It's not a blind box. It's not Gashapon. You can see it before you pay. It's amazing. All right, Wild Rider had a weird one too. So if we take a look at Wild Rider, I am so disappointed in this item. So small for the price of it, and from China. Poor quality. It's not from China, it's from Vietnam. This toy was never produced in China. Again, we're just a little bit racist with this one. Presumptuous and racist at the same time. Again, it tells you how big it is. It tells you it's 5.5 inches tall. I know Hasbro kind of sticks to those measurements. They usually end up a little bit low, but like, yeah, this is probably something that got bought back when Wild Rider was like the hard one to find out of the Stunticons. So yeah, this probably went for a scalper price, and they were complaining over the fact that it was small for the price they paid. You also pay for rarity, which, you know, kind of sucks, but even on Amazon, that is true. Quake also had an oddball one, and this one comes with photo. Trash Hasbro quality control. So this one has a little bit of experience to it. Absolute garbage quality, as per usual from Hasbro these days. Normally it is smeared paint apps or loose joints on every other release. So I will get loose joints on occasion. That'll happen. You know, it's really just down to just like where in the production line your batch came from. Earlier in a mold's lifespan, yes. Later in the lifespan, no. But smeared paint? I'll be real with you. Like, I have not seen smeared paint on a Transformer in a long time. Frankly, they skimp so much on the paint these days, I would be amazed that they would accidentally include any extra. But this time the product is cracked right out of the box with fragments of plastic wrapped in literal tissue paper. So I took a look at the photo itself. I should have saved it for this slideshow, but I looked at the photo. There is some, like, plastic damage on the turret piece. What they're talking about is the turret that comes with Quake. And frankly, the fact that they're describing it as wrapped in literal tissue paper, Cobra Dolaris, are you not aware that that's how Transformers packages its additional parts these days? It sounds like you were literally complaining about a piece being broken off and then someone at the Hasbro factory going, oh, whoops, didn't mean to do that, just wrap it up in this little tissue, throw it in the box. No, that's the accessory burrito. A lot of Transformers still have those. Like, that's not unusual these days. Like, little loose parts like that, yeah, like fragments of plastic wrapped in little tissue paper. Why would they have, like, individual fragments of plastic and then decide to wrap them in tissue? They didn't take a picture of fragments, by the way, so no idea what they were actually talking about, whether it's just added accessory pieces or if they just didn't realize that the part they're pointing at is supposed to be separate in the box. I don't know. Sometimes you just need to be a little bit more descriptive or post more than one photo of the problem. All right, Slammer. How can you complain about Slammer? This is probably one of the better of the weaponizers. Not a true Transformer. Oh boy. Not exactly a Transformer. He arrives in bot mode, and if you want him to be a tank, you have to essentially take him apart and reassemble him into a tank. It takes a cool toy for a kid who likes Transformers, turns into a toy that pieces just get lost from. Here's another one, the legitimate complaint. An issue with the weaponizers or any of the Izers is that if you lose even one piece, you're out the whole toy. That does kind of suck, all right? But then again, jigsaw puzzles exist. Sometimes you're expected to keep things complete, so, there's that. But also, yes, you do expect a Transformer to stay completely intact during transformation. But let's be real, that doesn't mean it's not a true Transformer. We've had part-formers since G1. Since the very first run of Transformers, we've had part-formers. In fact, a lot of G1 toys had fists that had to be attached after you transform it. You have Omega Supreme, who is like the original major part former. When you think of part forming, Omega Supreme is the first example of what that level of part forming was. It's been here since the beginning. You can't complain about it as if it is brand new, and you can't say it's not a true Transformer. It genuinely is. Suck it up. Okay, what can you say bad about Earthrise Optimus Prime? I mean, in comparison to what we got today, yeah, like it does leave a few things to be desired, but at the time it was really, really good. You know? Very expensive, poor families can't afford it. You bought it. I'm sorry, you bought, like, your issue is that it's very expensive and yet you bought it. I feel like that invalidates your complaint. And more to the point, it's a very weird complaint, you know? Like, not shaming the poor. I ain't exactly flush for cash myself over here. But there's a lot of things no one can afford right now. Let's be real here. I feel like this complaint is like if I were to leave a 1-star review for the car dealership because they charge so much for the Ferraris. Like, it's a big toy. It's an expensive toy. And it's not like Hasbro gatekeeps Optimus Prime. There's so many ways of a kid getting a hold of an Optimus Prime toy for pretty dirt cheap. I think that, like, I can complain about Hasbro's lack of quality and a lot of issues, but what I can't argue is that they do provide a lot of really, affordable and approachable options for children. You know, there are ways of buying an Optimus Prime if a kid, even a kid without a lot of income in their family, can still get a hold of an Optimus Prime. Will it have 18 points of articulation? No, but it's still Prime, and they can still enjoy and have fun. It can be their childhood Optimus. So it's just a weird complaint to have. Like, criticize the price all you want, but you paid the price and then decided to criticize it. And you don't even bring up why it's not worth that price. So, yeah, the argument's invalid, and the justification behind it is super weird. Super weird. Like, I feel like, yeah, like Hasbro does put out options like this, where, yeah, this is a very big Optimus Prime toy, but Cyber Optimus Prime here is actually very affordable for how big it is. It's cheaper than the Earthspark toy. Earthrise toy. I'm never going to not make that mistake. So what could someone say bad about this? Too difficult. What? The toy I bought did not transform into a truck. We tried to do it over and over and over again. It's just too difficult and I'm sending it back. Well, no. It will be able to transform into a truck. It's a transformer that's advertised to transform. How is it too difficult? This is a 5-step transformer. I'm not even exaggerating that. It's 5-step transformer. What went wrong here? Something had to go wrong here. Took a look at another review. Do not buy. Couldn't not recommend more. Came in 50 tiny unmarked boxes full of little pieces that were extremely unclear as to how to use it. What are you buying? Thankfully, one of the reviews had a photo of what they actually bought, and it's a knockoff of Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime. Wait a minute. How did you end up with that? So obviously there's an Amazon Marketplace seller that attached their listing to the official one from Hasbro. So when that one is not currently available, they end up getting the one from the Marketplace instead, which could be selling absolutely anything and claiming it's the same toy. So you get knockoffs, you get unassembled figures or model kit Optimus or whatever they got lying around. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's scummy. It's scummy as hell is what it is. But no, like, again, this is a matter of, like, did you look at the photo? Like, you can look at this photo and go, like, this isn't what I bought. Which at that point, it's not a problem with the toy that deserves a 1-star review. It's a problem with Amazon, and it should be reported as such. That seems obvious to me. But if we got to look at this Cyber Battalion or Cyber Series figures, Cyber Commander is what this is, Optimus Prime, it got me thinking about Cyber Commander Bumblebee. So I kind of wanted to see what people said about that one. And the reviews for this, I'm going to admit, actually sound fair. Because this toy has been in production for a long time. Hasbro continues to produce it as the cheap alternative for, like, little kids to have larger scale Transformers. And okay, that means that they've been using this mold a long time, and I can't imagine they pay to refresh the mold. So there's a lot of reports of breakage, parts not fitting together correctly, not snapping together flush when you're transforming them or popping back out. And that's stuff you'll find with typical mold degradation. So the reviews here, unless they got a knockoff of this, and I do know knockoffs of these do exist, unless they got a knockoff in a similar way that those knockoff primes ended up, then yeah, like this could be very valid. The mold has just had it and will develop these issues that they're describing. And then you had this person who said it had the head of a demon. I wish I'd noticed that the head of this transformer looks like a demon, complete with horns. So displeasing, returning. Written by Rise Above. Oh, when I thought of this video, I mean, I didn't realize I would be critiquing how people are reactionary with their reviews or blaming the wrong source of the problem. I was hoping for stuff like this. I was hoping for the crazy people. I was hoping for the ones who went insane. Like, okay. This week we had this problem with Pokemon where like religious nuts would say, well, not mocking religion, but you know, like anyone in any religion knows that there are people in that religion who take things way too far. And we had this with Pokemon back in the day when they were claiming, well, some of them use fire and some of them have horns, so Pokemon is satanic. No, it's not. It's just little fantasy animals for children. Like, this is like, well, it has horns, so it's a demon. So does a cow. So does a bull. Bull is not, like, by default. No, like, a bull is not by default a demon, you know? Like, a triceratops is not demonic. So, like, I don't want to hear anyone complaining about that. There's a lot of things that naturally have horns. A rhino has a horn. It's not a satanic animal. It's such a weird complaint to make. It's so weird to make. I've never thought I would ever see someone complain that Bumblebee is in any way demonic, but here we are. Here we are. I can't top that. I can't top lunatic who thinks Bumblebee is a demon. But there you go. That's how weird it gets on Amazon. A lot of people blaming the wrong thing. A lot of people like getting problems that are outside of Amazon's control, or not having anything to do with the toy they're supposed to be reviewing. You're not reviewing the service. You're not reviewing the shipping. You're reviewing the product, and you are kind of intentionally sabotaging the product over something that was out of the product's control. Just say how good or bad the product itself was. Justify it. Actually show that you can form thought and opinion. That's all I ask. And don't assume a toy is demonic because it has horns. So that's going to be it for me today. That's the weirdness I found just browsing through Amazon reviews. So I'll let you decide. I'll let you judge for yourself after that. But thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time.
Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.